Okay guys, we are back with the 2022 Beta 300RR. Now that we've got a bunch of time on this bike, I'm going to go over some of the things that have been super dependable and how the bike has actually transitioned. So far with the gearing, using that 13 front sprocket on it has been amazing. The jetting so far haven't changed. The temperature here has gone up finally. It was in the 20s and the 30s. Now we're almost in the 60s. It's finally drying up. As you can see, the area, this was all flooded, plus it was all snow for weeks, and now it's finally clearing up. A lot of the riding we've been doing has been muddy, it's been rooty, it's been just absolute gnar, and plus we're just driving through like 14-inch waterways and flying through it. The bike has performed awesome. The suspension has finally got a little more supple, which is what I expected, especially out of that KYB fork. So far everything's been holding up awesome. The Polysport disc guard has been holding up great. I've railed that a few times on some stumps. The radiator guards, they've been working fantastic. I've had no issues. I have dropped the bike a couple times. Thank God I haven't broken anything or scratched up the graphics at the moment, but hey, that can all be replaced in the future. I did add these little tie-down hooks that you just put to the bolts on the triple trees there. We are going to make some big changes to the bike. That's what's going to be next. But at the moment, I have noticed that my foot is wearing on the new kickstand. This is not a hindrance by any stretch. It's advantageous. The back of my heel is actually working really well with the actual kickstand. It's just, you can see it's starting to wear. So I'm going to get some grip tape that we use, the ones you use for stair treads, some really good 3M, and we're going to heat it up. We're going to put it on the subframe. I'm also going to put it on the kickstand. That's going to be next. These pegs, awesome, highly recommend. I know they're super expensive, and it's unfortunate they're so expensive, but this heel guard is just a lifesaver when you're riding really fast, doing like 60-70 miles an hour through whoop sections and some of the power lines we've been going down. When we have a good straight section that's got some whoops, I mean, when your heel makes contact, you can feel it, especially when you pivot your hips back up on the seat. That's been awesome. So far, I did put an AXP guard on there. This is not for the Beta. This is actually for a 4-stroke KTM. I believe it's like a 2019 4-stroke KTM. I got that cheap for like 30 bucks. I could not get an AXP for this. I tried the Beta catalog. I tried reaching out to multiple places like Sierra and all those guys, and nobody had it. They all told me like 5-6 weeks away. Even AOMC, same thing. So you know what? I had one of those running around. I put it on. I wanted it so it protects my linkage, and the diving board's been doing really good. So I haven't even adjusted the chain yet. It wasn't even necessary. I am going to show a video on how to adjust this properly and have the right spec, especially for my bike. It looks like we're going to need a little bit of adjustment. I did have to flip the chip, just like we have on the downhill mountain bikes. So if this is running a little too tight, I did notice when this was on the stand, I was having a hard time spinning the wheel. My axle is really forward. See the gap? So it's not super forward, but it was just enough where if that flip chip, if you take this bolt out, you can flip that little aluminum peg around. It was too tight. And I had to make that adjustment, and I noticed it was a little freer, but I have hit it a few times. We're going to be working on a new design for that as well. So far the jetting's been pretty good. All I did was I adjusted my idle air screw. I just turned it out when it got a little warmer. I turned it out like a half a turn. But I'm looking to put a 35 jet in it. This thing comes, I believe, 38 on a Pilot, and I believe it's 165 on the main. The last bike I worked on, we put a 35, we did the 170 main, and then we put the NOZJ, needle in there, or the Neck J needle. I have them both. I just got to take it apart, and I got to adjust the float. I haven't even done that since I've owned the bike, but I really wanted to get a good feel for the bike and see where we were at. This tire, the Midas 454, this thing is awesome, and I'm not losing any knobs, nothing's chunking, and this thing is hooking up to everything I put at it. It doesn't matter if it's slippery rocks, mud, especially on off-camber turns, the mud has been everywhere. This thing has been hooking up, but it is a smaller tire. They only make this for the 18. They only make, 110, 100, 18. I got a couple of tires that are on deck for this thing. I got a golden tire that's going to be a 120, but I really wanted to try this. The guy that has the Beta I've been doing a lot of electrical work on last year, he has this, and he highly recommended this, and man, he was not wrong. I mean, these knobs are gummy. They move around, but man, I've already got like 8 hours on this tire. It doesn't even look like it's worn. I mean, it's just muddy. So it's been working, and we've been hitting rocks and roots and lots of logs. So the thing's really been hanging up. You know, I mean, it's really been holding up. I mean, the discard, unfortunately, I haven't hit anything in the back with this, which is great. I do got to clean the rotors, though. We've been through a lot of water and a lot of mud. This thing's been pressure washed like 5 times already. As you can see what my boots are wearing on the Acerbi, you know, frame protectors. So we're going to put some grip tape all there, so that way that boot can lock in, especially because I love gripping the bike. It takes away from, you know, arm pump in my hands. So same thing with the frame. See the composite frame starting to wear? That's all going to get grip tape. I'm doing that all tonight. I'm going to do a little bit on the heat shield as well. I'm also going to do it up on this upper frame. I didn't realize it was another guard. I saw a picture the other day and they have an extension. So I'm just going to put some grip tape right there. I don't go up in this area too often, but just in case, I want to get all the traction I possibly can. I did get a new foot pedal lever. I just haven't put it on yet. And the other thing is I'm going to make another video too on how to get that ridiculous amount of slop out of the brake. I like to modulate my brake. You know, I'm used to the KDX and the KTM, and yeah, that's kind of that Morse code shit, and it's not even working. That ain't working for me. I do got to lube my linkage, and we've been through a bunch of riverbeds, so I definitely have to pull these bolts out and just give them a quick greasing. I didn't do it originally. I normally do, but you know what? I figured, you know, I know they have assembly lube in there, but that's the next thing too. I also got an adjustable power valve that's going in here. I don't think I'm going to put this in by the weekend. We have a race on Saturday. I'm sorry, Sunday. So I want to get this thing prepped where I can lube, grease, make some adjustments. I'm going to adjust the compression. I'll give you my settings too on my suspension for the type of riding we're doing. I definitely have to adjust out my compression a couple of turns and probably speed up the rebound just a touch, especially in the front. The rear, I'm not getting any bucking, and it's working really well. But as far as one thing I wanted to mention, headlight bulb. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute what headlight bulb we're actually using for this. I didn't want to put a video on this unless this LED bulb would hold up. This is an automotive bulb. It fits in perfect. I really had no modification except for the little booty it's behind it. Even put a little 194 bulb that's in the bottom there. So keeping the factory look. Now normally I put a Baja light on here. I have them, and I usually change to that. But with this particular situation, I wanted to see how good this bulb was. And you know what? I drove at night a couple times. It worked really good. I'm going to start this up once it gets dark, because we're on the cusp right now. It's like 6:45. It gets dark at 7 right now. And I'll show you that. The radiators, no problems at all. We did that radiator mod. Look at that. Fits like a glove. The bike turns awesome through all the trees. Turns way better than any of the bikes I've had in the past. Loving it. I've had no issues at all. No leaks. No problems. No problems at all. The next step right now is the handlebars are coming off. I'm gonna keep the beta handlebars. We got a Mako 360 going on this, but I wanted to ride it before I put that on and put some hours in. Now is going to be the test on, you know, vibration and so forth. I'm also going to shorten the bars. We're going to take a 1/2 inch off each end. We're also going to tap. We have tap kits, and we're going to tap in special screws for the Acerbi handguards. That way they don't loosen up, don't vibrate out, and you save yourself a 1/4 inch right there if you tap those in. So that'll be next. I did put some friction tape, some 3M friction tape on my levers. That works out really good. I do have a Midwest lever coming. I wanted to get really good with this one, but it's working perfect. So if I don't get the Midwest lever in by the weekend, I'm just going to use this. And yeah, we got a new bracket coming in, so we can put the new number plate on, so I don't bust my headlight one day. So if I'm not driving at night, I can just put the number plate on. So got a whole new bracket coming from LBI. So that should be in any day now. But yeah, once we foam fill the bars, cut them shorter, tap them in, put the Mako 360, this thing's gonna be like night and day. I can't wait to see how it feels. So we're doing that all tonight. So just want to give you an update on the beta. Things are working out good. And the other thing too, the seat. Oh my God, the Guts foam seat. The foam itself is Guts, and it's just unbelievable. I have not had a sore bottom, and after hitting all the whoops, and you know, especially when jumping over a lot of logs, there's a lot of places where they're logging, so we're literally going from log to log to log to log, and these things are 12 to 15 inches in diameter. And this seat, depending on how high your butt is, I mean, it's been whapping me. And I gotta be honest with you, I've had no issues. And this seat concept, this is very similar to the Gut seat cover, but this is what was available to me at the time, and I gotta be honest with you, this I could not be happier. This is awesome. It works fantastic, and I'm really excited to push this bike even further. So, and then we'll have some riding videos for you guys. All right, so I just want to give you an update on the beta and where it's going. And the next time you see this bike, it's going to look completely different. Grips, everything. It'll look nice. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you're chasing excellence. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the ride.